Malaysia plans to join the BRICS grouping of emerging nations amid growing geopolitical uncertainties, including U.S.-China tensions. While the economic benefits of joining the bloc are hard to quantify, economists say Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim may want to seize the platform to expand the reach of ASEAN when Malaysia takes over the chairmanship of the Southeast Asian grouping next year. Melissa Goh reports.
For weeks now, Prime Minister Anwar has been harping on the country's planned move to join BRICS. Established in 2009 as a platform for emerging economies, the bloc initially included Brazil, Russia, India and China, while South Africa joined a year later. The bloc has since expanded to include Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran and the UAE.
We should be confident enough to determine our course of action, our priorities, our strategic interests, defined on our own terms.
Analysts said Mr. Anwar's decision to join the bloc is understandable, given the huge economic potential of BRICS countries, which now contribute about a third of the world's economy and account for 1/5 of global trade.
Global GDP growth is forecasted for about 3.2–3.3%. BRIC countries, the existing members, is closer to about 3.6. Of course, with countries like India and China a bit further up the curve. Now, when you have more than 4 billion of the world's population, a little bit over a third of global GDP, and further potential, then you start to see why it could become a very formidable bloc.
But just how much will Malaysia gain economically from joining BRICS is debatable, economists said, although geopolitically it makes sense.
If there is no trade facilitations, I don't foresee any tangible benefit economically, but at the same time, in terms of security, two of them in the Security Council, which have veto power, we have a seat at a powerful bloc to promote our interests.
With total exports and imports of goods and services accounting for over 140% of its economy, Malaysia needs to tread carefully amid intense rivalries between China and the US, two of its largest trading partners and investors. Now, staying fiercely independent and actively neutral is what Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim insists that Malaysia needs in order to continue to do business with its superpowers.
The reality is that while Malaysia sends these signals with regards to BRICS, it also has a very, very strong trading and investment relationship with other important power blocs of the world, including the United States and the EU. And Malaysia as a nation has also always been pragmatic in looking out for its geopolitical interests in ways that will keep us safe and productive. And what that entails is essentially ensuring relationships with all superpowers of the world are maintained.
And the Prime Minister appears to be doing precisely that. In mid-June, he welcomed Chinese Premier Li Qiang, who visited Malaysia to mark 50 years of bilateral relations. And later that month, he met the American ambassador and tech giants from the US and Europe. In July, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov called on him, and Mr. Anwar formally submitted the application to join BRICS and plans to visit Russia in September. And with Malaysia taking over the ASEAN chairmanship next year, analysts said Mr. Anwar would want to seize all platforms to speak up for ASEAN and the developing world in a powerful voice against economic injustices. Melissa Goh, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.